Okay, guys, well, it's dark out, so I got to use my light. All right, in mobiles, of course, you got a metal tin roof. You've got these very 2x2 joists, I guess you would call them, and of course, you got that center board there. These here are very weak, and it worries me hanging drywall on something that is held together with just hammer-on straps. So what I was thinking is getting some plywood and cutting pieces to go all the way across at least one side of each of these, and that will give it rigidity, because right now when I push on this, especially in the middle ones, I can get some movement. And that really scares the hell out of me because I'm going to be strapping drywall to these. And they are resting on top of these runners, one on top of each board. So there is some strength there. Okay. So if I was to do that with some plywood, at least on one side, to each stud or each joist, it should give it enough strength to where it's going to hold a lot better. But I think I'll cut one and try one out and then shake it and see if it strengthens it up. As you can see, we've done a lot in here, and my video cut out on me, so it didn't record the rest of the job. I mean, moving around the camera to get all the shots, that's a tough job. It is. I have to be honest. That's a tough job. So hats off to all the YouTubers that do this kind of thing. Recording videos is tough, but you saw what this room looked like before, and it just smelled musky as hell because of the roof leak it had, and you could see some of the areas, but that's all been taken care of, and I'll explain that to you guys a little later when we go to the outside. But these walls here, I'm going to have to strengthen up a lot of these walls. The last thing I want is if I bump into a wall, I don't want the wall to shake. So I've got to reinforce these because these are really weak. I got to reinforce these with some more 2x3s. I know it's kind of weird, 2x3s, but I don't, if I can avoid it, I don't want to have to remove these and rebuild with 2x4s because I'm trying to do this as inexpensive as possible, but do it right, which I know that sounds like it's not going to happen. So here, when we tore out the closet here that was here, we noticed that there's a soft spot right here, and it's kind of worrisome. And I'm almost going to tear out this shower because I think there's a drainage issue here, and I'm going to tear it out, look under it, see what it looks like under there. I may just leave that out, just to leave just the tub, because I have another bathroom at the other end where I can jump into the shower, because I'm a shower, not a bather. Well, showering is bathing, but anyway. So I've torn out the vanity that was right here, and there's no shutoffs to these valves, which is kind of scary. I might try to find some shutoff valves that will work in these plastic water line systems. I hate this type of water line. It's a lot like PEX, but it's older. So I need to see if I can even attach cutoffs, because these water lines come up to the sink, but it also goes into here to the bathtub. And I've torn out this wall here, and what I found, a lot of it has been cleaned up, but you see all this white stuff? That is where rats, and you can see some turds, okay? We're way out in the country, so rats and mice are very common out here, so it's not too unheard of. But the problem is like under the sink, they had a hole cut here, okay? So that's definitely an entry point for rodents. And if you were to, I'm not really gonna be able to show it to you too much, but under here, let me see if I can get in there. Under here, there's a big hole. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this tub, just pull it out. And after I remove the shower, I'm going to move the tub over in this area so I can start working in this area with the toilet and everything. My plan is, after tearing out the walls, of course, and of course we have to remove the bathtub anyway because this ugly ass wallpaper paneling goes all the way down to the floor behind the tub. Since this tub drops down, when this tub is reinstalled in its new place on brand new subfloor, and we're going to put a bead of silicone around there, and we're going to put a little piece of modernized trim across it to help keep water from splashing up underneath there. Okay, so that's what's going on in here for the tub. It looks like it's pretty wild in here. We haven't torn out the ceiling here right now, but that is happening tomorrow, and look at how bad that was. So that's why it makes me really want to get into this wall, make sure there's no dry rot. And surprisingly, none of this wood is molded. None of it is molded. So I thought this place was crawling with mold, but it's not. It's actually very, very clean of mold. It was just musky and dirty, and I don't know what was causing that stank, but that stink was stanky. All right, guys. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for today's video. I'm going to bed. Going to wake up, get started on the bathroom, and we'll take you step by step, show you the whole process. And well, I was going to include you in my little video here, and so stay tuned, guys. More reno, and then the best part, building it back together. That's what I can't wait for. Welcome back to day 2, or I should say welcome to day 2, because you haven't been anywhere on day 2 yet. So this is the first video for day 2, demolition of the master bathroom and bedroom. And let me tell you, there's a little more water damage than I thought there was. I've completely removed that shower stall. And you know what? Let me stand up. And in this whole area here, the subfloor is less than perfect. So we're gonna have to peel it back, cut it out. That is part of why we're doing this, is because there was water damage, and you know, once there's water damage, there's mold. Especially if it's not taken care of right away.
Alright, so you won't be able to hear me very well, but you can watch what I'm doing in time lapse. After tearing apart all of this crap here, I realized that the subfloor comes under this wall here. So we're going to have to temporarily remove this wall so that I can remove, because the seam comes the seam of the plywood subfloor ends right about here. This here is a little damaged, but this is good. This is solid. I whacked it with the hammer, the claw part. A little bit chipped up, but that's okay. But to make things a lot easier so I don't have to cut a line, I'm going to take it from here across to where it's damaged, all the way to the shower pan, the old shower pan, and I'm going to leave it right like that. Okay? And I'm going to replace this whole piece, because that's definitely got to be replaced. It is weak floor. I just got to find out how thick it is and replace it with the same size so there's no dip when I lay the new floor in. So I have to remove all this wiring from this wall here so I can remove the wall so I can get this floor up. I just hope the joists are not rotted, because then that's a ton more work that I have to do to solidify this floor. This is what happens when you don't do inspections on your manufactured homes. They start to deteriorate, just like this. Fortunately, this place isn't that bad. It's repairable. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to clean up, and I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, I hope that you're able to understand me. It's been about an hour since I last recorded. And I've got the shower stall out. I got all the linoleum peeled back. And like I thought, from here all the way over and all the way back to that edge, I have to cut out and replace. And I'm also going to have to take care of this. So what turned out to be one sheet is now, here's a sheet right here, here's a sheet right here. So at least 2 sheets of plywood, 3 sheets of plywood, and a 4th one so that we have enough, because it's like half an hour to town from way out here. So I got to get enough supplies to finish the job. So I have to get more supplies than I actually need. Boy, I hope you can hear me, because I'm having trouble hearing myself. So what I got to do before I can start cutting floor out is I got to finish this entire wall here. I have to remove in order to get the rot taken care of all the way up to there, because it goes under this wall, which is a good thing, because it's going to allow me to have plenty of good support to screw a real secured wall. Because what I got here is I got weak walls, of course, I've explained that, see? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce these walls a little better, because they're kind of flimsy. They are. Let's be honest, this is not a house, this is a mobile home. It's built cheap. But the tub we're going to reuse. It's in good shape. It doesn't look too bad. With a little bit of cleaning, it's going to be great. We have to change the faucet thingies. Those are disgusting. But anyhow, when I come back, I should have this wall removed, the ceiling gone, and this last remaining wall and that little bit out of here. And then what we're going to do is clean up. We're going to do a parts list, or a supplies list, and then we're going to get busy to start rebuilding this part of the house. My wife is anxiously awaiting. She's sleeping in the front room on her bed, and that is not good. And as far as the closet here, what we've decided is we're going to remove this portion of the wall. This portion of the wall, it's gone. And what that's going to do is it's going to leave a real walk-in closet. And my gun safe is going to be on that side. So you all excited to see this finished? I certainly am. Here it is. Let's get one more view from the back here. This is one side that I'm going to take a picture from after, so we can compare it side by side. Alrighty, that's going to wrap it up for this portion. And we're going to go ahead and remove this wall and get started on it. Here we go!